we are talking about all of the different factoring together. So everything we've done so far, I have said, okay, factor these by greatest common factor. Factor these by difference of squares. Factor these using slip and slide. But now I'm going to just mix it all together. So I want you guys to pull out that handout we did yesterday for notes, that flow chart that kind of told us what our steps were. And we're going to use this as we go through our different problems. All right, so no matter what is the first step for factoring? Greatest common factor, no matter what problem I give you. So if I look at this one, okay, my numbers, 28 and 63, what are both of those divisible by? 7. Variables, do they have any variables in common? Okay. So remember, when you factor that out, it's like dividing it. 28 divided by 7 is 4. We didn't touch the a's, we took out the b. Minus 63 divided by 7 is 9, and we took out the b. All right, so that's greatest common factor. Now, how many terms are in this parentheses? 2. If it's 2 terms, what do I need to check for? Here we did greatest common factor, 2 terms, we look, difference of squares. Is 4a squared a perfect square? Yes. It's a minus, is 9 a perfect square? Yes, so we can factor this with difference of squares. So we have 7b. What's the square root of 4a squared? 1 is plus, 1's minus, and the square root of 9 is 3. All right. Let's look at number 2. So first step, check. Do we have a greatest common factor? Yes. What is it? 3. So I can take out the 3. That's like dividing all of these by 3. So that gives me m squared plus 3m minus 10. How many terms is this? 3. So 3 terms, what do we do? Slip and slide or easy method, kind of depending on which setup. So since it's a 1m squared, we should be able to do the easier method. Okay, so I need 2 numbers that multiply to a negative 10 and add to a positive 3. So what would multiply a negative 10 and add positive 3? Positive 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, positive 5 plus negative 2 is positive 2. So the 3 comes down, and we have the m plus 5 and the m minus 2. Alright, so nothing new, just we have to be prepared on any problem and go through and back. Alright, number 3. Do we have a greatest common factor? These are all divisible by 2. Is the first term? No. The first 3 have an x, but does the last term? No. So we can't do greatest common factor. How many terms do we have? 4. So if it's 4 terms, what's our strategy? Grouping. Yep, we put 2 in each parenthesis. Now, can I put a parenthesis after a subtraction? So first I make this plus negative 4. So these are in parentheses, and these are in parentheses. So in the first parenthesis, x cubed and 2x squared y, what do they have in common? X squared. If you factor that out, we had 3 x's, we took out 2, so there's 1 left. We took out the x squared, so that is a 2y. All right, second parenthesis, negative 4x and negative 8y. What can we take out? 2, but we can go bigger. 4. So we can take out a 4. Now, if I take out positive 4, do these parentheses match?
No, negative 4.
Okay, got to take out that negative 4 so that they match. That gives a positive x everything works if these parentheses are the same. So now what do we do? Yeah, so it's like factoring out that x plus 2y, and it's a times for the final one. So if I took out that, we have an x squared. If I took out this, it's a minus 4. All right. Does anyone see anything here? Notice anything special?
One square.
Okay. One has a square in it. X squared is a perfect square. Minus is 4 a perfect square. Yeah, this one. It's a big one. This is still a perfect square. We haven't had any that have gone on like this. But we can go one more step here. We have the x plus 2y. It's not a perfect square, so we can't do anything. But this is a difference of squares. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 4 is so x plus 2, x minus 2. Why don't you guys try, let's do 4 and 6. Factor those. So number 4, do we have a Grace common factor? Nope, so what'd you guys do? 5. Okay, so we get y squared plus 7y minus 8. So two numbers multiply to -8 and add to +7. +8, -1. And then we start out multiplying by 4, so we divide by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. Here we have to slide the 4 back, so 4y minus 1. So y plus 2, 4y minus 1. Alright, number 6, what do you notice? Greatest common factor. Number-wise, 24, 6, and 3, we could take out a 3. Variable-wise, we can take out x and y. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. We had 2 x's, took 1 out, so 1 left. 2 y's, took 1 out, so 1 left. 6 divided by 3 is 2. We took out the x, we took out 1 of the y's. And if you take out everything, what do you put? 1. Alright, is this set up like the square ones where we do slip and slide? No, this variable isn't squared, so is there anything else to do? Nope, that's our final answer. Alright, let's jump around a bit. Let's go ahead and look at number 8. What can I take out? 4. 64 divided by 4 is... Okay, are we done? If I look at this, 16x squared is a perfect square, y squared is a perfect square, so that's a difference of squares. So remember, those are 2 parentheses, 1 plus and 1 minus. What's the square root of 16x squared? It's an x, and the square root of y squared is y. Alright, let's try number 9. So what do we do here? Grouping. No greatest common factor. We think of this as plus and -5. So we group the first 2 and the last 2. So the first set we can take out x to the second, and that leaves us with x plus 3. Second set we can take out, and that leaves us with x plus 3. Now they both have the x plus 3, so if you take that out, you're left with x squared minus 5. Alright, double check. X squared is a perfect square. Minus is 5 a perfect square? No, so we don't have to go any further. But if it were x squared minus 25, could we break that down? Yes. Alright. Let's try number 12. So first step is to look for greatest common factor, GCF. So if I'm looking, do they have anything in common? No. So then 3 terms tells me flip and slide. So that's y squared minus 12y plus 36. So 2 numbers, multiply to positive 36, add to negative 12. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Negative 6 plus negative 6 is negative 12. And then we divide by 9. Now 6 over 9, what does that reduce to? 2 thirds. So you slide the 3 back in front. So 3y minus 2 times 3y minus 2. So make sure in your slip and slide you are reducing those fractions. Alright. Let's try, we're not going to do too many more. We'll try a couple. 14 and 15. I'll give you a minute to see what you can do, and then we'll work for all 4, but 4 terms tells us grouping. If we have a minus, we're going to change this to plus and then a negative x first. So then we put the first 2 in parentheses and the second 2. So the first set of parentheses, what is my greatest common factor? So if I take that out, we're left with second one, what do we have to take out? And then we're left with? Grouping works if these parentheses match. So for your final answer, you write that, and then what's left? So if I took this out, the first one has a 9x squared. Took it out here, we have a minus 1. Am I done? No, why? Yeah, this one is still a difference of squares, so that can go one step further because it's 2 perfect squares. So the square root of 9x squared is 3x. We have a plus 1 and a minus 1. Alright, and problem 15, greatest common factor? X. So then we are left with x squared minus 10x plus 21. Alright, I need 2 things. Multiply to positive 21, add to negative 10. Anything else we can do? Nope, so we're done. Alright, I have a handout for you, but I want to shorten it just a little bit. So, I'm taking off the following questions. So you can mark off questions 7, 12, 15, 17, and 18.